Hey, have you ever dreamed of going on a big adventure? Imagine living an ordinary life and then finding a hidden message. This message tells you that there is a way to the center of the earth. Axel, the main character in our story, found such a message. His uncle, a serious professor, discovered it inside an old book. Axel's life changed in an instant, and a big adventure waited for him, something beyond his wildest dreams.
Wow, that sounds amazing. It's like a mix of love, fear, and science all coming together. Axel must have felt so many things, leaving behind someone special like Grauben, yet stepping into the unknown with his uncle. This story takes us on an unexpected journey where anything can happen. Imagine being caught between staying safe with love and family, or jumping into an adventure that might change everything. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
So, let's talk about Axel's life in Hamburg. He lived with his uncle, Professor Leidenbrock. The professor was very serious. He loved geology, which is the study of rocks. He worked hard in his study every day. But one day he came home early, and that surprised everyone. Even Martha, their cook, was shocked. Why did he come home early? Well, it turned out he discovered something exciting.
That's right. The professor found a very old book, 700 years old. Inside, there were strange letters that no one could read. Axel and his uncle didn't give up. They took out a big dictionary of old languages and worked together. Can you imagine the excitement as they slowly started to understand the message? It talked about a path to the center of the earth, hidden by a famous scientist named Arne Saknussemm.
Yes, Arne Saknussemm. People thought he was a bit crazy, but he was actually a genius. The message told about an adventure to find the Earth's center. It made the professor very happy. Imagine finding something that big. It's like a treasure hunt. I bet Axel felt a mix of fear and excitement. This was a chance to do something amazing, something no one else had done before. It's not every day you get a chance like this.
Can you imagine the thrill of uncovering such a secret? Axel's world was about to change forever. This discovery was not just about science, it was also about being brave. They were not just reading about an adventure, they were going to live it. The professor believed that they had to go on this journey. Axel, his uncle, and the memory of Arne Saknussemm were all set to find the way to the center of our planet.
Leaving home for a big trip is hard. Axel didn't want to go. He loved Grauben a lot. She was very special to him. Staying with her was safe and nice. But his uncle said the adventure was more important. Axel felt scared about the journey, but his uncle was sure they must go. This made Axel think about what he should do. Can you imagine having to choose between love and adventure?
Grauben was amazing. Even though Axel would be far away, she understood why he had to go. She told Axel he must be brave and follow his uncle. She smiled and promised to wait for him. Her words gave him hope. It was not easy to leave her, but Grauben made Axel feel strong. Saying goodbye was sad, but he knew he had her support. Do you think that made his journey a bit easier? Saying farewell doesn't mean goodbye forever.
Our journey started as we left for Denmark. It was the beginning of a big change. My uncle managed our bags and held onto the tickets tightly. We took a train to Denmark, and the sea was next. On the ship, the cold wind touched our faces. It was a new feeling for us. Axel kept going back to memories of his home. The thought of Grauben was always with him, warm and comforting.
The sea was big and wide, but our next stop was Iceland. When we arrived, a kind man named Professor Fredriksson met us. He showed us around Reykjavik. It's a small, friendly town. There were people here who knew about the old Icelandic tales. The professor was helpful. He introduced us to Hans. Hans was very tall and quiet, with strong hands. He didn't talk much, but he was very good at moving through this tough land.
With everything ready, we talked about our plans. Fredriksson's house became our base. We picked what we needed: food, tools, and other things. Hans checked each item, nodding with approval. We got ropes, lamps, and medicine. Fredriksson helped with the maps. He explained every path and how the weather could be. Iceland was like a land of stories. It felt like a new world, and every moment made Axel think of the adventure ahead.
Meeting Hans was important for us. He seemed to know the land as if it spoke to him. His quiet nature didn't need many words, but his presence was strong. Fredrickson said Hans was the best guide we could have. This gave Axel a mix of feelings, nervous yet excited. Axel's uncle trusted Hans a lot, and so did Axel. Knowing Hans would lead them gave them the strength to look forward to the adventure.
As our journey continued, we finally reached Sneffels volcano. It looked huge and silent, like a giant waiting for us. The wind was cold, and I felt both scared and excited. Uncle was ready, and Hans was calm as usual. We stood at the edge, looking into the deep, dark opening. Hans tied ropes around us, and it was time to go down. Step by step, we started our descent into the unknown.
This was really happening, going down into a volcano. It was dark, and I could hardly see the bottom. But Hans led the way, strong and steady. As we climbed down, the walls felt warm and hard, like climbing inside a big stone cave. Suddenly, we saw something surprising on the wall. It was a name, Arne Saknussemm. It felt like he was telling us we were on the right path. We waited for the sun.
Waiting for the sun was difficult because of the clouds. Uncle was getting worried. Time was running out, and soon it would be July. But then, on that special day, the sun broke through the clouds. At 1:30, sunlight touched one of the tunnels. Uncle was thrilled. This had to be the way. Hans checked our bags, making sure everything was ready. We prepared to follow the light, knowing it was the guide we needed.
It felt like a sign, the light from the sun showing the right tunnel. We knew this was our path to the center of the earth. Hans went ahead, and we followed with excitement. It was dark, but our hearts were light with hope. The idea that Arne Saknussemm had been here made everything feel real and possible. We were part of something big, something like a dream, and each step pushed us further into the adventure.
We went deeper into the earth. The tunnels were dark and quiet. Sometimes the path was wide, sometimes narrow. We did not know where to go next. My uncle was excited, but I felt scared. The walls around us looked like they were from another world. Together, we made sure to stick close, always watching where we stepped. It felt like being in a dream, moving through space and time.
Then something wonderful happened. We were almost out of water and getting tired. I was losing hope. But Hans, who was always so calm, heard something. It was water behind the rocks. Hans worked hard with his pickaxe. Water came rushing out, warm at first, but cooler soon. We drank and felt strong again. It was like magic. Finding water in this place showed us we could keep going.
But then, I made a mistake. I was so happy to feel strong again that I walked too far from my uncle and Hans. Suddenly, I couldn't hear them. I called for them, but I was only met by my own echoes. My heart started to race. I was lost, all alone in the dark. I ran through the tunnels, calling out, hoping to find them. It was a moment full of fear.
After a while, I fell and hit my head, only waking up to find myself on a sandy beach. It was a strange sight. There were waves, and it felt like the sea. But how could this be? We were so far underground. When I looked closely, my uncle and Hans were there. They looked at me with relief. I knew that their friendship saved me. I was safe with them again.
When I woke up, I saw something amazing. There was a big sea under the earth. Can you believe it? An underground sea. My uncle and Hans were there too. We wanted to learn more. Hans was making a small boat so we could explore this sea. I was excited, but also a bit scared. It's not every day you find a sea deep inside the earth, after all.
That's truly unbelievable. Sailing on an underground sea sounds like a real-life adventure. As we set off on the boat, we saw big waves. It felt just like being outside. But then, we saw something moving in the water. At first, we thought it was a dolphin, but it was actually a huge creature. It looked like an alligator and moved fast through the water, making my heart race.
We weren't ready for what was coming. Another creature, even more frightening, appeared. This one looked like a snake with a big shell. It was scary, but they didn't see us. The two monsters started to fight right there in front of us. We held on tight as the waves rocked our boat. It felt wild and dangerous, like a battle of giants happening right under the earth.
What a scene that must have been. After the fight, the snake creature disappeared into the water. The other creature was also gone. We realized then how strange and hostile this world under the surface could be. The water calmed down, but the fear stayed with us. We knew we were not alone, and the mysteries here were big. Imagine being in a place no one knew existed.
Exploring the earth is full of wonders and dangers. We have seen many amazing things, but we also faced scary moments. Still, we are ready to keep going. We want to find out all the secrets of the earth. This journey is important to us. Every step brings us closer, and we are not giving up. We learned a lot, and there is still more to see ahead. We hope you stay with us.
Thank you for being with us on this adventure. We had a great time sharing this journey with you. If you liked our story, please like and leave a comment. Your support means a lot to us. Do not forget to subscribe for more exciting adventures. Together, we can explore new places and discover more wonders. Stay with us for many more journeys to come. We appreciate every one of you.